Shri Mataji, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Let's start our day together by bowing down in front of Shri Mataji, raising Kundalini and putting on a bandhan.
Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasra Swamini Moksha Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha
This morning I thought we might just play some mantras by Mrs. Venu Gopalan. She used to sing for Shri Mataji back in the 1980s. And so we'll be listening to the Vishuddhi mantras and then mantras that are said every day. And we have a collectivity talk as well. So it's all about the Vishuddhi, really, and ego. So let's get started.
Radha
in the name of God, ridiculous things were done. Ridiculous things were done. So he just thought, better not talk about God. The first step is self-realization. He was a great Sir Yogi Ambedkar. Because he said, nothing doing, don't talk about God or anything. First you get your realization. That was the first condition. Establish. Unless and until you have established your realization, nothing doing. So he just started his own method of propagating Buddha's knowledge, or Buddhism, as they call it. Of course, it became Ism later on. So all that he started with the idea that people should first become Buddha. Buddha means realize. Buddha is to know. So Buddha means the person who has known, means the one who is a realizer. So what he says, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. I surrender. Sharanam means I surrender to the Buddhas, means to all the Sir Yogis. You are all Buddhas, because you know. When you know, you are the Buddha. When that purity comes, you see, in our temperament, that we do everything without any desire, we have got rid of our ego. The Buddha is awakening in us. And that's what is the importance of Buddha. That he settled down himself in a place which is the most difficult place. That is on the left side of your head, you see. Sometimes I have seen it projects here up to this point, in some people. They get such a terrible pain, pulling it out from there. Can't imagine. So this horrible point, which is so funny, it is sometimes it can blow up like that. Sometimes it can pierce through. It's a horrible one, which all of you have developed quite a lot, you see. And it takes its forms in different ways and methods. For that, we have to say, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Means we surrender ourselves to Buddha. Then what does he say? The second one is very good. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. I surrender myself to collectivity. Sangham. Sangha is the collectivity. I surrender myself to collectivity. Ego goes down. First of all, Buddha, who is sitting, who is the deity, which is the enlightenment, you say, I surrender myself to Buddha. Secondly, you say, I surrender myself to collectivity. Egoistical people cannot surrender. So I surrender myself to collectivity. So we say, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. It is to Virat. Virat. It is the third one. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. The third one, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Dhamma means the religion, the balance. I surrender myself to religion, which is essential. Or you can put it the other way down, that Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. That's all. If you have achieved it, then we can talk about it, not before. So these three things are to be achieved. We would put it in a Sahaja Yoga way like this. First of all, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. I surrender myself to my virtues. All desires can be surrendered to a virtue. Is it virtuous to do like this? You can. If you are brought up that way, you will just not do it. You will have no desires to do something that is not virtuous and righteous. You will just not do it. So, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Then you should say Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Means I surrender myself to my enlightenment. This is the second state when you are ascended. Surrender myself to enlightenment. Enlightenment that I have got to my spirit. It is the spirit who is going to guide. No more my physical, mental, emotional, nonsensical temptations. But what? It's the spirit. And thirdly, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, to the collective, to the whole, to the Virat. is the way we have to work it out. So ultimately reach the same point. That let me start it from myself. From myself to others, not from others to myself. It's like treating the tree from outside, not from the roots. That Sahaja Yoga treats you from the roots. First you get your realization, alright? Then you learn how to surrender yourself to your dharma. Then you become collectively conscious. Collectivity is a temperament, with a sense of enjoyment that you get in the collective living. Unless and until you have that, you are not achieved. So Buddha has played a very great role in our lives, and he is a very great, powerful force within us. I am very happy that Buddha Jayanti has fallen here in England, because as we say, the England is the heart of the universe. It doesn't matter if I say here, is there anybody Arab here? I don't want to see any Arab people sitting here. Alright. If it is the heart, whatever you do here will circulate in the whole universe. So if you can conquer your ego here, you can even conquer the ego of Mr. Reagan and these Russians. You can manage that. But first start it here. It has to reverse back. You see, now they have to learn from you and you don't learn from them. When it will work out, you'll be amazed. Ego is the only problem I always face, reaching their hearts. If ego is removed, everything will be alright. So for us, the great mantra is Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. These three mantras you must say every day, I think, to get rid of this horrible ego.
Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, Shri Mataji Sharanam Gacchami. Sharanam
today going to tell you about collectivity. Well, you must hear the first part of this is very interesting. Let us do the second part now. Now, collectivity is a thing is to be understood in a much deeper way than we know of. See? First of all, in collectivity, when we say this body is a collective instrument made out of many cells, alright? Then what do we understand? That first thing is, in collectivity, we must realize that there is interdependence. We have to depend on others. Like, she has to depend on her and she has to depend on him. But when it comes to ego, not only that it separates you from each other, that's not the only thing it does, but it teaches you not to be dependent on anyone. You have to depend on others. You have not to exploit others, but you have to depend on others, and others have to depend on you. First thing, very important. On this subject, I'll tell you a little more. So you first of all ascertain yourself how far you are, without feeling bad about it. Because collectivity is the place where you belong. You do not belong to this individual being that you are. You belong to collectivity. And that's why you have to be there. And to be there, you have to face all the time yourself and find out how far you are away from that collectivity. How far you are deciding things for yourself and not for the collectivity. You have to be very much on the alert, and this is the discipline you have to put on yourself. But if I tell you, you have to be alert all the time within yourself to see that are you in collectivity? Are you doing something in collectivity, or you are doing something for yourself? Do not deceive yourself at this point. Because deceiving yourself means you are deceiving your collectivity. Your chances of being there is beyond which you have achieved. So try to do something which is congenial, helpful to collectivity. The moment you start becoming unaware of your collectivity, immediately cancer starts going in my body. I get physical troubles because of that. So the collectivity is not what you think of yourself to be something big. It's not that you are above everything and you are this and all that. How much you have done to enhance the collectivity of understanding of love. Just thinking about yourself, then you are not thinking of collectivity. But a person who is collective is the most interesting person. The one who is not that way, he may think himself to be something great. So let him think. But he is not interested. He is extremely boring and people are not interested. The reason he is not collective, he is not auspicious. So to become collective, you have to watch yourself. That is the biggest discipline. Now I would say for that collective meditation,
so once you start getting out of the collectivity, it is the Mahamani herself picks you up and start pulling you out slowly to the subconscious area, and there you just disappear. And all kinds of problems start there. I've seen this happening in Africa, that people do not attend the collective meditation. For France, I will have the same. And I think the people who do not know will be forward. So once you are forward, that's why. Then you can imagine, you can have any kind of website you are already, these are the worst. So at any cost, that must be allowed. But if you are not in the collective, if you do not understand the collective, and if you are out of the collective, you will be surprised that negative forces be running and let go. So this is one of the things that happens. So be very careful that don't avoid the collective programs. In the collectivity, suppose you have one problem, another one has something. It just works out, balances. As one figure is cut out, it is useless. Or a nail which is taken out, is useless. It does. So, that is how we are organizing our spiritual death and ultimate death in the waters. I am thinking of the collectivity of the whole world. That's my reason. And if surgeries cannot be collective, who is going to be correct? Who is going to fulfill my mission? So all of you, those who call themselves surgeries must attend the program. So this collectivity comes only by understanding one. What a great work we are doing. People are not conscious of that. They take it just by the way.
You have to understand that how the collective phenomena works out. If there is a realized soul, then he is surrounded by all the divine at least. But in certain cases, when there is a realized soul and is not yet, say, that good, say, for example, if he smokes, take an example, then there could be only one following such a man. If all his chakras are bad and despite he smokes also and he also drinks and things like that, there may be the only one maybe with him, or may not be even one sometimes. But mostly there's at least one, minimum one you can put it. So every realized soul has got some people with them. And if somebody does some sinful act for a short time, say for example, he does something bad, actually very bad, then all of them might depart for the time being, but they again come back to him. Now when such a man is struggling to have an experience, if there is another positive person, a very positive person comes in, he may be having more issues with it. So he may be able to spare some of his people to prop up this man. So it acts like, just like the venom seeds of the atoms. But the only difference is between the two is that human beings can accumulate as much as they want, they can change. But the atoms cannot change.
That when the Sahajogis are collectively there, they really enjoy. Because for the first time you start enjoying human beings. First time. Before this you never enjoyed them. You enjoyed flowers, you enjoyed everything else, but not human beings. Pure enjoyment of human beings starts coming when you become fully realized. That's why collectivity is the only way I can work out Sahaja Yoga. I can't think I can work out through the people who are separated, divided. It is said, Christ has said also, that they said, what have you to do? He said, When you love each other, you have done the greatest justice to us. True? And the cleansing is the simplest thing in Sahaja Yoga is to be collective. If you are not collective, then know that something wrong with you. If you are collective, then as if you are taking your bath in the river Ganges. You don't have to go to Himalayas, you don't have to do individual sadhana much, you don't have to, just be collective. If you are collective, if you are enjoying the collective, then you should know that you are clean. No blemishes there. You are absolutely all right. So now, let us see how do we miss out on collectivity. It's a very practical, down-to-earth understanding. First, we must know without collectivity we cannot exist. As the body has to be in connection with the brain, in the same way, without collectivity, Sahaja Yoga cannot exist. Once you understand that, then you have to work it out that collectivity is absolutely established within and without. It is more within that we have to establish than without. Whatever you have within is manifested outside. Now, how do we establish it within ourselves? First of all, we have to understand that now we are the relations of each other. So the first thing is that within ourselves, we have to see introspection, with introspection. What are we doing against collectivity in our mind? How our mind is working. And we are one big family together. We are part and parcel of one body. Do not try to see the defects of another person, but goodness of another person. That is really going to help you the most. Now, the worst enemy of collectivity is aggressiveness. Some people are basically aggressive. Their style of talking is extremely aggressive. The way they say things is aggressive. So what you have to practice here is humility. Try to be humble. Meditating together is the best way to feel the collectivity.
Let's continue in silence. Jai Shri Mataji. Let's say the last verse of the three great mantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayini Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Thank you for braving the elements this morning and being part of our program. When you're ready to finish your meditation, please bow down in front of Shri Mataji. Raise your Kundalini and put on a bandhan. Have a wonderful Sahaja day ahead. Jai Shri Mataji.